Oh, hey there. Didn't see you guys over there. I'm not doing anything or hiding anything, or am I? Come on, I'll show you. So we get asked all the time, what is Soya's secret sauce? And the fact of the matter is that we don't do anything different than anybody else. A lot of people think there's these like quilt shop secrets, but I'm gonna walk you through everything that we do as far as cutting fat quarters, organizing our fabrics, planning our events, our retreats, and a little bit of everything in between. So let's go. So we're gonna start with the first video that everyone either loved or hated, which was called Why We Hate Fat Quarters. Fat quarters are one of those things that are kind of a giant quilt store nightmare. First of all, they take up a lot of space. They're not like on a shelf with bolts. You actually have to have a dedicated space for them. That's the first thing. Second thing, when you have your inventory, so let's say I take this bolt and you cut off a fat quarter. Now, fat quarters come in pairs, so you not only have the one fat quarter that's went with your customer, you have another fat quarter that now needs a new place in your shop, which right there, you see there's no fat quarters. You then have to take this to your inventory and minus off a half of yard of your inventory because you've got a half yard, which gives you 2 fat quarters. It takes time, it takes remembering, because let's say I forget to do this. Let's say you order it online and all of a sudden, oh wait, we're short 1/2 a yard and we have to call you and say, sorry, our inventory is wrong. That's the biggest reason that fat quarters kind of get a bad rap within the quilting industry. They're a lot of fun, everyone loves them, but at the end of the day, they just take a lot of work. Every quilt store is a little bit different. Sometimes you'll walk into our store and say, why do you organize all of your fabrics by collection instead of by color? Again, not a secret sauce. This is just the way that we do it. We've done it both ways, and this is the way that we find is the easiest for customers to get the things that they want. We do it that way because it makes it easier to shop by collection. If you come and you like one of these prints, chances are you're probably gonna like some of the other ones. In the past, in our old store, we used to do it by color. So you'd walk in here and this would all be, reds going to pinks or oranges or whatever it is, or greens and blues. That worked great right up until the second that somebody says, do you have more of this collection? And then we go to the red section and the blue section and the purple section, trying to find the fabrics from that particular collection. We have mixed reviews like anything else that we do. Some people come in and say, I wish you just had red fabrics. I wish you just had blue fabrics. Others say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I found this print and I love it, and now I can get this one, this one, this one, and this one with it. That's the reason that we do it this way. It works for us. It might be different in your local quilt shop, but this is the way we decided to do it here, and so far, so good. Now, the next thing we're gonna talk about is classes. We're here in our beautiful classroom, but classes in general, again, a love-hate relationship for a quilt store. Lots of times we'll get requests and say, why don't you do this class? Or why don't you bring in this teacher or this designer? And well, let's just talk about the bottom line. The bottom line is the actual bottom line. Classes are extremely important because education creates finishers. Now, finishers in the quilting industry means that you finished your quilt top, and now you need batting, now you need a backing, now you need us to quilt it for you, and that obviously helps raise the revenue of a company. But it also teaches you new skills that will get you onto the next project. Lots of times I hear, well, if I had this type of class or this type of instructor, there'd be so many people that would sign up. Chances are your local quilt stores probably already thought of that teacher or probably already thought of that technique. And there's probably a reason they're not bringing in that teacher or doing that technique. I've had people that have come in and they want $1,000 to teach a 2-hour workshop. Let's get out our old calculator here. $1,000, okay? Let's just say it's our classroom. You have 25 people. That's $40 a person. That doesn't seem like too much, right? But wait. That $1,000 is just the class fee. You have to pay for their travel if it's a teacher that's coming in. So call it another $400 and maybe flights. Now you gotta pay for their hotel. Call it another $150. They have a per diem rate, $40, $50, depending on what it is. We'll be moderate with our numbers here. Another $40, that's now $1,590. So we're gonna take those same 25 people. Now your class fee is $63.60. But wait, the quilt store, Soya, haven't made any money on that. A quilt store needs to upcharge what they're paying the teacher, because what if 25 people don't sign up? What if only 20 do? That's now $80 a person that we are paying to our teacher, whether or not people show up or not, okay? Now, if a quilt store only adds $20 onto this, 25 times 20, it's $500. $500 to do a multi-day event or a long event, and your class fees just go up and up and up. One good thing about Soya is your classes are free. Now, how does Soya do that? We take care of our customers. We try to bring in people that like to work with us and we like to work with them. They give us good deals. When someone comes in and they take a class that's free or one of our online classes, which happen every single week, you can then get on soyaquilting.com, maybe buy a little something for yourself that'll go with the class. Or you're here in our store, go and pick something out. These classes, they're not actually free, right? Somebody's got to pay for them. Quilt stores want to have classes, but they have to have classes that are beneficial for everyone. So when you're in your local quilt shop and you take a class, remember all of those fees that are kind of on the back side of the price tag and do a little shopping while you're at your local quilt store. Next, let's talk about sewing machines. I want your machine to be working well. I want you to know how to use your machine. I want you to understand how it works, how to maintain it, and how to create awesome projects on it so you can continue to come back here to Soya and have a good day. Contrary to popular belief, most sewing machine dealers aren't trying to rip you off. They need to make their profits, but they also want to give you a good deal. As you go into a dealership, especially here at Soya, walk around and let them know your needs, okay? The first questions that I ask people when they come in and look at a sewing machine, I say, what do you sew? Do you sew? Do you quilt? Do you do apparel? Second question, I say, what's your budget? Now, I'm not asking this so I can get your highest dollar out of your budget. I'm asking this to know that if this is the machine that I'm thinking you're gonna be on and it's $25,000 and your budget's $5,000 or $500, I don't wanna say, this is the machine for you, and then you'd be like, well, that's $20,000 out of my limit, right? So I'll ask those questions, say, okay, great, this is your budget, this is what you're looking to do. Let's match you with a machine like this DX4000 that is perfect for you. There are a couple of things that you need to know when purchasing a sewing machine. We want you to know that we're gonna back you if you ever have a problem with your machine, okay? So manufacturers have warranties on their machines, right? But Soya also wants to take care of their customers. If you come in and say, hey, I bought this machine from you a year ago, it's having this issue, we are 100% going to take care of you and make sure that you get your machine back up and running. Sometimes that involves us doing a warranty claim through the company. Sometimes that involves us just taking care of it ourselves. All of those conversations happen with us as a company and you as a customer to give you the best experience with your sewing machines. Because at the end of the day, what's sewing without the machine? What if I just do one like sitting right here, like the low shot? The next love-hate relationship I want to talk about are pre-cuts, okay? Pre-cuts are fantastic. Everyone loves them. Who doesn't like to walk in and say, wow, I love this layer cake, or I love this jelly roll or charm pack or Vegas strip, okay? Everybody loves to see pre-cuts in quilt stores. We love to open them up and use them and to plan our projects around them, buy patterns based on pre-cuts. It just makes everything a whole lot easier. But there's always that little caveat, okay? Pre-cuts are a very small item that have a very big price. You walk in and you buy a pre-cut here, you buy a jelly roll, they're between, $40, $45, up to $50, $55. 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, over and over and over again, okay? They can be expensive for your local quilt shop. We have to make the decision, how much fabric are we bringing in? Are we buying one bolt of everything? Are we buying 8 of the prints that are in the line? Are we buying the jelly rolls that are coming with it? The charm packs, the layer cakes? Those decisions have to be made for every quilt store, and it has to be within their budgets, okay? Sometimes you buy a collection that didn't sell very well, and you then have a bunch of pre-cuts to go with it. It's like, well, now what do we do with these? As you're in your local quilt store, you have to be conscientious of looking around and saying, this quilt store usually is doing the best they can. They're trying to bring in the products that you want. They're trying to bring in the pre-cuts that you want, but it also comes with limitations of space, dollars, and the knowledge of, can we sell this? How do we sell this? And how do we make this work, okay? Ordering fabric, people always ask, how do you know which fabrics to order? Tankum always goes like this, and look at my crystal ball and see what's gonna sell in a year from now. There's no way to know. So always be conscientious when you're talking to a shop owner. I really like Felicity or P&B, whoever it is. Would love it if you brought some in, if it's within your plan for your quilt store. Next, let's talk about quilt store samples. Samples are what bring a quilt store to life. You have all the fabrics, you have all the pre-cuts, you have all the patterns and notions. What do you do with them? These samples are to show you a little inspiration of what you can do with what's in your local quilt store. Samples are another one that are for a quilt store, take a lot of time and a lot of effort to make. We here at Soya have 4 full-time sample makers that all day long, as you can hear, putting together things that we show on our live sales, which we're gonna talk about next, or hanging in our store, or et cetera, et cetera. Lots of times you can see the long arms behind us. They'll be putting on customer bindings where you'll send in your quilt. We'll quilt it for you, and we also bind it for you if you'd like. But samples is a fantastic way for everyone to see what the product's going to look like. Samples are one of those things that make a quilt store, and it's no secret. Another one of the quilt store secrets is inventory. Inventory is one of those things that there's never enough of it and there's always too much of it. You always are trying to have that perfect balance between what everybody wants, what sells really well, and not ordering a collection that you're like, man, this one didn't sell like I thought it was going to. Inventory management is one of the secrets to a good quilt store. If we had any, that'd be that. Managing inventory where knowing when to keep something in stock that everyone needs, when to get rid of it, when to put it on clearance, and when to figure out the next step for the inventory. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of inventory. We are always doing things with the inventory. This is all new that just came into the building. It's getting ready to go onto one of our live sales. Live sales are a great way to connect with people that might not be local to your local quilt store, but still need good quality, good priced fabrics. So if you haven't joined us for one of our live sales, as always, down in the link below, the description below, you've got the link that will hook you up with how to join our live sales. Don't miss out on it. We do them all the time. You can sign up for notifications. You'll get a bing, you'll see some beautiful fabric, and we send it straight to you. So everyone, I have given you all of the secrets to running a successful quilt store. No, I'm just kidding. The tips to having a great quilt store are 1, having awesome customers, 2, providing awesome service, and 3, really trying to brighten the world around us. You know, we live in a world where there's so many things going on, and the fact of the matter is that everyone comes here for a minute of peace, a minute of happiness, and a minute to unwind and see everything that's beautiful. So thank you for being wonderful customers. We'll try to continue to be a wonderful quilt store, and we will see you guys next time.